I want you to imagine a little something with me, okay? The year is 1996. You're just sitting on your ass on the couch watching TV because the Nintendo Entertainment System is just not doing it for you anymore. Then you see this banger on television.
And that's Mom, and that's the dog.
Where's the more intelligent older brother?
He's dead.
And you're all flipping your shit because it looks awesome, right? Okay, so then you beg your mom to go down to your local EB Games. So then she finally agrees. You go down to your local EB Games, and then you buy said game that you saw on television, and you realize it's fucking garbage.
I'm sorry, John. I have to do it. You didn't give me what I wanted, so I'm gonna kill you. Oh, crap, I need to get out of here.
Let's be honest, guys, the 90s were really weird. Like, no one could even make any sense in the 90s. They're just awful. It's an awful decade, except the PlayStation, and the Super Nintendo, and the Nintendo 64. But we're gonna skip by those for now. This time period was especially unique because of the video game commercials. Literally, the times of the 70s and 80s where you just explicitly told what your product did in a nice and fashionably manner like a sales pitch is over! Nowadays, your video game commercial has to mean something in an artistic manner. Or just make a rap video with Zelda like Nintendo did. I was going apeshit when I found out that this actually existed. Like, I just couldn't believe it. Nintendo is essentially just the next Vanilla Ice.
Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle.
Could you really blame Nintendo, though? Everybody was doing it. Even, Atari. Remember Atari? Come on, guys. Please remember me. I made E.T. and I made Pitfall. That was good, right? You guys like Pitfall, right? Please.
Sega Genesis is 16 bits. 3DO is 32 bits. The Atari Jaguar is 64 bits. Which is more advanced? Clifford!
I mean, that's a good marketing campaign on paper, but the problem was the Jaguar kinda never used the 64-bit concept to its fullest potential. What I'm about to show you is the most advanced game I could find on the Atari Jaguar. That's it. That's the most advanced game you're ever gonna get on the Jaguar. You spend $400 and you get a bunch of polygons. Hell, I mean, the Super Nintendo can do shit like that. Like, look at Star Fox. And Star Fox 2, which never came out, but technically it did since it came on the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, and everyone seemed to love that. So, now before we get on to the commercials that Sega made, I want to show you this really weird one that I found for the Game Genie. Like, have you guys seen Wayne's World? It's like a Diet Coke Wayne's World.
Game over? No way! Cause we got Game Genie!
Yeah, bruh, we got Game Genie.
We tell you when it's over.
With Game Genie, I decide how many lives I get.
I use it when I want to live forever.
Play to the end and win. Maybe I want to start on level 15.
No problemo.
Game Genie prevents my wife from knowing I'm cheating on her. Excellent.
It makes cool games like Street Fighter 2 more exciting.
Well, hold on. Did I just see
like Street Fighter 2?
Street Fighter 2?
Like Street Fighter 2?
Street Fighter 2!
Like Street Fighter 2?
No, unacceptable.
Quick update on the lawsuits. We're about 9 months deep into the lawsuit now, and we're entering the final stages.
That's frustrating! With Game Genie, it ain't over. So we say it's over. Excellent!
Game Genie for NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, and Game Boy. Codes from many popular games, each sold separately.
Now, if it isn't obvious already, this commercial is aimed towards college stoners who do nothing but smoke weed and drink beer all day long while playing on their Sega Genesis, not being able to get past the first level. That is, of course, just an estimate based on my estimation calculator that I downloaded from iOS.
The Sega Genesis has blast processing. Super Nintendo doesn't. So what's blast processing do? What if you don't have blast processing?
Sega is just a weird company altogether, especially nowadays, because in the 90s they just hated Nintendo. Like in early and mid 90s, they hated Nintendo. Then in the late 90s, they died down a bit. Then in the early 2000s, they just stopped making consoles altogether because they were so poor with these bad releases. Like you had the Dreamcast did well, but the Saturn didn't. There was the 32X and the Sega CD. They were both like just dog shit in general.
So this is the Sega CD. It's a load of ass.
Sega had a bad run in the late 90s. Let's just say that. They try their best, but you don't succeed.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
And nowadays, Sega, get this, they're Nintendo's game lackey. They're the ones who make all the Olympic games, I think. I'm right on that, right?
Genesis does.
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit arcade action.
Now, before I point out the fact that they just assume that obviously Genesis and Nintendo are the only consoles out there, they say 16-bit arcade something twice. Like, we get it. It looks like an arcade. It plays like an arcade. Isn't that technically what home consoles are, though? Home arcades? Why do you think they released Pac-Man on the NES? But I mean, that's just marketing. They gotta get the kids to spend the money for Christmas somehow, you know what I mean?
Bit arcade hits.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
What Nintendo?
They really want to drive home the point that this is a 16-bit arcade system. This is the 90s, not the early 80s. What, you think you can go outside now? No, you can stay in. Just play Sega. Sega. Only Sega. On a side note, this is totally unrelated, but the Genesis one is right next to a Simpsons Burger King toy one, and the contrast between the two just don't clash very well.
Genesis does it all.
Burger King, The Simpsons, $3.49 each when you buy new mini muffins or any size fries. Any size fries.
That's basically gonna do it for me here on this video. Maybe I'll do a little more ads in the future, but not now. I'm too tired. So yeah, see you later.